today. I don't feel.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Linda de Gonzalez, and today we have Pixie, who is joining us in her incorporeal form. Pixie, you're going to have to turn down the volume on your phone.
It's off.
Pixie's having some serious technical issues today.
Blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah. And Maria has perfect health. Hi and welcome. And I'm going to ask you to retype your question because I have not set up I haven't opened up the queue for Nightbot. So we'll just see if it's accepted your question. And just hold on for a second here. I'm going to set up the banner for Nightbot so you guys you have it right there to see. Okay. Hello, Nightbot. Wake up. I want to welcome a bunch of people here. Hi, Diane. I'm happy to see you. And Venus. And, well, of course, Maria has perfect health. And Kim is here. And CJ. And I'm happy to see all of you here. Welcome to all of you. We're going to it's a wide open questions day. Okay, so the queue is open. So if you want to go ahead, Maria has perfect health. If you want to copy and paste your question and put it in, there you go. She's right on top of it. You're awesome. We've set a limit of 8 questions today. Yeah. And Ember Glows Bright is here. I've got to say, I love your name. And Andrea's here. Awesome. Okay, so Maria, Nightbot just hasn't got a clue, does it? Okay, so I'm not going to make you type it a third time. I'm just going to mark your question, and we will go right ahead and we'll answer that. Okay, so you're going to be question number 1, and Kim's going to be question number 2. And Venus, you need to type your question right after you type join. So, and Andrea, good, you've got it. Hi, Joyful Journey. Nice to see you. So, we don't have Pixie's lovely face with us today. I don't even have an image to put up for her.
Just my ghostly presence.
Yeah, her incorporeal state. That should be interesting for 2025.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, oh, they're gonna give me a surprise right out of the gate, like there haven't been enough already, right? Worldwide.
We are not having fun in technical.
I guess it doesn't want me to be seen today for whatever reason. I don't know why. First time that's ever happened.
That this is very weird. Okay. We'll talk after and try to do some more troubleshooting, but honestly,
I mean, I can go into the studio, but it's like we were in, believe me, before we needed to be. We always do that, try to anyway, make sure we don't have any technical issues.
Yeah. And Madame Maru says she's Pixie curious, and it's nice to meet your voice.
Sorry about that, Madame Maru's House of Cards.
Oh, that's hilarious. Thanks, Maru. So, okay, it looks like we've got 4 questions so far. And so as soon as the queue fills up, we will we'll start answering them. And how have you guys been? How was your New Year's, Pixie?
If you want to count today, all you can do is laugh. I mean, there's no point in being
Yeah,
upset.
yeah. There's no point in being upset.
Kind of
There's
go with
just
the flow, as they say. No, it's interesting. I've been working on my vision board and doing some other, looking at some research on some stuff. So it's been busy, actually. And I've
cool.
been over to my storage unit because I'm cleaning it out and selling everything. So it's like it's been busy today, actually. Maybe they
Cool.
thought I could handle seeing my own face. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Kim says that Pixie can be the voice from the spirit realm. Well, she pretty well is.
Well, I'm here to be of service today, so I'm just going to go slow and try and help as many people as I can.
Yeah, that's the only reason we're here is for service. So because
that's a cool name. Ember glows bright.
I know, isn't it a great name?
Yeah, it is. That's a great name. That Maria has perfect health. That's a great affirmation because every time you type it, you reinforce.
Yeah. Every time you see it on screen, it's reinforced. Yeah, you're right. I did that for a while. I put up little Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And like on my bathroom mirror and on the alarm clock in my room.
That makes sense though, because there's places you go to every day. You're going to look at them all
on the fridge. Yeah. Yeah.
Put one vision board on my, when you go to bed at night, you look at your ceiling. So that's where I put one of my vision boards is up there. The bigger one. It's easier to see. And then this is the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning. So
yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some people probably go, why does she have that on her ceiling?
Yeah, normal people put a mirror up there.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of person.
No, me neither. I remember seeing, never mind. You don't want to know. Okay. Well, you might. I'll tell you after, but I'm not putting out that out there.
I did treat myself. I watched the Thomas Crown Affair, the one with Pierce Brosnan in it, which I love the original, but the second one, that was a hard movie to top, and it's really well done. But if look at some nice things, that's a great movie.
T. Lynn says that she was crippled when she worked for a woman who wouldn't allow Post-it notes. Oh my God. I could not survive without Post-it notes.
I wonder if that person had OCD and they couldn't handle the seeing everything.
Oh my God. Listen, I use Post-it notes like this, like the big long ones with the lines on them. I freaking love them. And when I left my last job, somehow when I came home, there they were in my purse, a whole package of them. I have no idea how that happened. They magically transposed themselves and transported, beamed themselves into my bag. I really, and I buy them now. I don't like little ones. I have little ones,
especially if you got a lot going on. It's kind of like, I forgot about that, or it's like a visual reminder.
And I have index stickers,
like, those little colored ones. I put those in my books if it's an important chapter that I want
to. Me too.
On it too.
So. Yeah, T-Lynn, I would have been crippled as well. I can't function without Post-it notes. They're so useful. Invented. No, they weren't invented by a woman, but they were invented by a choir director. Actually, he was an employee of 3M who was also a choir director who used this failed adhesive that they thought it was a failed adhesive, but he found them very useful for
he had an open mind
and so then they thought, maybe this isn't as useless as we thought it was. So anyway, so we're talking about Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, he's still hot. He's like 80 years old. He's still hot.
Still hot. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, hi Tanita. If you want to ask a question, you have to type !join. There you go. You got a 100 character limit. Oh yeah, there you go. Nightbot just told you. You have a 100 character limit. So yeah, he is very yummy. You know who else aging really well, is Benjamin Bratt. There was a whole argument on Reddit the other day about whether, was it on Reddit or YouTube, about whether, I think it must have been YouTube, about whether somebody's photo, whether it was Benjamin Bratt or Lou Diamond Phillips, who is also pretty hot for like an old man. Stop. She's been so crappy all day, this girl. So Tanita, if you would like to edit your question to be within the 100 character limit, Nightbot will be very happy to accept it. Yeah, they are both hot. I know. Why are we talking about hot men? Hot men post-it notes. I had a very quiet New Year's. I made tortilla and mashed potatoes and gravy and a salad, and I brought it over across the hall to my buddies, and we had supper together, but he was really tired, and so I was gone by 6:30. I was kind of disappointed, but then I had a bottle of, or a can of Guinness to console myself, and it was pretty nice. It was quiet, and I was going to watch some movies, but Wanda didn't appreciate that, and so I was in my room by 10:30. Oh, we've lost Pixie. There you go. Angela, you've joined the queue. Okay, we'll just have to wait for Pixie to come back. Hang on a second. Let me just check my phone. Sorry, I just want to make sure that she hasn't sent a message. That's all. Tanita. No, still more than 100 characters. And you know what? Cut off that whole last part about the future lives, because those haven't been determined yet. So that's not something that I can answer to. The queue is full. Okay. All right. So Tanita, hang on just a second here. I'm going to mark your question, but I won't answer about the future because that hasn't been determined yet. Okay, don't bother trying to retype it. I'm going to close the queue. And thank you, Diane. Close. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so, oh, here she is.
Where did I go?
Boy, there you were. Incorporated for real.
I know. It's like, okay, wait a minute, guys. I'm not going anywhere today. Not right now, anyway.
I think that's, well, okay. I mean, it's not funny, but we got to laugh, okay?
We got to laugh. I mean, we can't, control.
Yeah. Hi, Jeremy. Welcome. So our questions are now closed. We are full up. We're going to start with Maria has perfect health. And her question is Amos from my soul family and with me now as a protector in this life? What significant past life have we shared? Do you want to do that one, Pixie?
Hold on. There's Amos from my soul family and with me now. So this is somebody she knows, apparently. She just wants to know if they were in a past life together.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. That's so kind. Thank you very much. Yes, congratulations, 512 subscribers. Sorry. The question is Amos from my soul family, and is he with me now as a protector in this life? She also wants to know what significant past life they've shared. She says he isn't alive, but with me in spirit.
Hold on, because I'm asking if he's a particular type of guide or angel. Just a second.
Okay, go ahead. No, you take your time. Hi, Amanda Carroll.
I'm getting like right away. He's an earth angel for her, which means he's always there. He'll be there. He'll cross when she does with her. And they do protect you because they make sure that,
Yeah.
if you are in a bad car accident and it's not your time to exit stage left, they will be there and they'll make things happen that people will just kind of shake their head and think, how did that person get out of that? Or what happened? Because they can't make it doesn't make sense in our logical mind because it is a miracle. And that's what I'm getting that he does. He's her earth angel.
She says he came to her when she tried to exit early, and there's a whole story there.
Well, that's why he was there.
Yeah.
As his job is to make sure that you're safe and that you're not going to exit before it's your, scheduled soul contract is completed. But yeah, he's always there. They're there, round the clock.
Wow.
Some guys might come in or go out depending on when we call on them on what we need. But he's always there. He's kind of like your shadow. You just don't see him. I don't know if you feel him, but I'm surprised you don't feel him because I think he comes to you when you're down, like when your when your vibration is not very high. And what he tries to do is elevate the vibration for you. For one, to change your mood, but also he's trying to get you to learn how to do that yourself. So you're going to have to sit. I don't know if you meditate, but he can actually talk to you if you meditate. You have other guides too, and I don't know if you're aware of that, but you need to meditate because it raises your vibration. It's really important because it's like when Linda and I talk to, let's say, beings from another realm. They are a higher vibration than we are normally here on Earth. So what we do is when we want to talk to them, we lift our vibration and they bring theirs down a bit. So we can kind of meet in the middle is what we do.
Yeah.
So,
it's really important. That's why joy is important. That's why laughter is important. Sometimes I will play ABBA and dance around the living room, and that raises my vibration. I mean, you use all the tools. We use all the tools at our disposal to do that,
Okay, I'm getting like 2 lifetimes, 1800s and 1600s. See you on a ranch. I think we're in the 1800s. I'm searching around to see where we are on the ranch. So just I'm trying to pick a state for you.
There might not have been states at that time.
Yeah, but I mean, an area of the US, basically. Like, she might have an affinity to that area sometimes when you have a past life. It was, if it was a good one. I'm not sure we are drawn to the places that maybe weren't good ones or probably more repelled by them. I'm getting because it's a cattle ranch, you move the cattle from Utah to Montana. And then you came back to the ranch. But you moved I see a lot of head of cattle. A great big huge. It's a pretty big ranch. Let me find out. Okay. Well, Amos is there. I see him. He's not just a ranch hand. He's actually the owner of the ranch. You're his sister in that lifetime. And they always left some men behind because they had to protect the actual property of the ranch and you. He wanted to make sure you were protected at all times because it was the wild, wild west, as they say. You were there at a kind of an interesting time because the Mormons were at that time trying to take over a lot of land. So he was a pretty big rancher, so he was well aware of the shenanigans, let's put it that way, that were going on at that time. Ooh, okay. Well, I can see what happened to him. A bear got him. But he had like a head ranch hand that he trusted with his life. He felt like he really let him down, so he knew he had a duty to go back to the ranch, but he didn't really want to face you and tell you what had happened because he felt like he failed to keep him alive. I see him scrambling up a tree. I can see him shooting his rifle. He actually stayed up in that tree overnight, just to make sure that it was safe to come down. Of course, whenever he heard rifle fire, the other ranch hands would have come looking too for him. It's usually one shot was, I'm in trouble, I need help. So they brought him back, and actually they buried him on the ranch. They were quite a long way from the ranch, so it took time to get him back there. So that's what I'm getting from that lifetime. And even after he left his body, he loved the land so much and the ranch so much. And he hung around in that lifetime to kind of watch over you, even though he wasn't physically on the earth plane anymore. So he likes that name, by the way, likes the name Amos. Tried and true is what I hear.
Yeah.
So a very honorable person.
Yeah.
Kept his word. Didn't cheat people in business. He was just a very upstanding person all the way around.
I'm hearing straight arrow.
Oh yeah, big time. His handshake was his word. Is what I'm hearing. He was also pretty good with the pistols. It's a good aim. He had a really good aim with his pistols. And the guy that I saw up in the tree with the rifle, that was his specialty. He was really good at shooting a rifle. So he was kind of in charge of the stuff that was kind of further away. It was like a crack shot is what I'm hearing. But you lived out the rest of your life on that ranch. For some reason, you couldn't have any children. I'm not sure why. I'm hearing you fell. You were in some kind of accident where you fell. You had an injury, which at that time took you quite a long time to get over, which is why he was so overprotective of you. Kind of blamed himself for not keeping a closer eye on you. I'm going to tell you, in that lifetime, you were a bit of a wild child. So sometimes he had his hands full because, they had very strict ideas about what women and men were supposed to be doing, obviously, at that time. But yeah, it's a very fond memory for him, is what I'm hearing. So just know that he's always there, but he wants you to meditate, find a recording on YouTube for meditation, find one you like. It might take a little bit of experimenting because I'm hearing you have trouble calming your mind. Like it's always busy. So you need kind of a directed meditation recording. So I hope that helps you.
Thanks, Pixie, and thank you, Maria. That was very cool. Viviani, if you're still here, put in your question and we'll answer it. Go ahead and put it in. And Maria says, here's some feedback from Maria. She says it's not surprising at all. She was wild. And I guess Wanda knew all about it. So
oh, Miss Wanda.
Thanks for the feedback. we really appreciate that because well, it helps us, it helps us improve.
It does.
So if we're totally off, you got to tell us. You just say that's all going over my head. I don't feel anything that you said.
Mm-hmm.
We need to hear that too. So so that was Maria and shush.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When I read, just so they know they can't see me, I close my eyes when I read. It makes it easier for me. It cuts out a lot of the visual noise in front of me. So
yeah.
if I miss your name, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I didn't physically see it.
I close my eyes when I read as well, and so that
just so they know.
Yeah, before I found Nightbot, before I found Nightbot, and before I figured out how to use Nightbot properly, it was a real difficulty. Okay, got your question, Viviani, and I've marked it, and we'll read you after we finished our list. So the next person in the queue, hi Rossi, welcome. Next person in the queue is Kim B. And this is for me. What past lives did my best friend, I guess that's Jessica, and I share together? She's been just so wild today. She made such a fuss during Gerald's live earlier today, and I was quite cross with her. I put her back in the cage, and she was still not happy. I had to mute myself so many times. Don't make me do it again.
Her leg on the facing me, it's right, but it would be your left, right? On the outside of your shoulder.
The outside, the outside leg, yeah.
Leg is bothering her. That's why she's a little feisty.
Well, she got her painkillers this morning, so
yeah.
I think Jessica. Okay, yeah, it is pronounced Jessica.
What I call her knee is bothering her, like where.
Yeah, that's where she has arthritis. Amber Glows Bright wants to know her name. She's called Wanda, and it's because Wanda. Yeah, Queen Wanda of the universe. She rules my life. She is my avian overlord. And I can't stay in the living room past 10:30. Well, certainly not past 11 o'clock. And sometimes she'll start squawking at me at 10 because, it's her bedroom and she wants to sleep. Damn it, get out of here. Okay, so I go to my room. Anyway, yes, this is Wanda. She's a 20-year-old Gothic cockatoo. And, well, she's very bright, but she doesn't talk. Okay, so her dad had him. Are you talking, Kim? Are you talking about the spelling of your friend's name? Because I was going to say there's a subreddit all about names like that, spellings like that, and I'm an avid reader of Reddit. If you couldn't figure it out. What past lives did my best friend Jessica and I share together? Well, you were sisters. You were sisters and brothers. And I see a mother-child relationship in there. And I see like 5 lives together. And I don't have time to tell you about all of them clearly. Let me just pick one. This is somewhere in Europe. In Europe, I want to say tribal days, like before quote unquote civilization. So let's say around the time the Roman Empire came stomping up there to conquer stuff. I see Northern Europe. And I say that it might even have been Germany. I see big, tall trees and little clearings here and there. And there's wolves howling at night. And Nobody goes anywhere in the woods alone, partly because of the wildlife, but also partly because, finding your way home again. Although there are well-marked trails, because there's marks on the trees for the trails. Trailblazing, that's the word. Okay, and you're not wearing skins. Ow, that really hurt. Jeez Louise. You're not wearing skins, you're wearing roughly woven like tunics and trousers. And you have leather shoes with the straps that wind around your calves. And just the women have longer tunics than the men do. But you do use furs a lot in the winter. So yeah, it's a cold. Yeah, so it's probably Germany. I mean, that's my wild guess from the landscape and the clothing and stuff. So the men and some of the women, because some of the women are hunters too. So the hunters go. Oh yeah, I see snow on the ground. There's like about 6 inches of snow, 8 inches, and somebody saw the tracks of. Okay, I'm Canadian. I would say moose or elk. I can't tell the difference between the tracks. I'm looking at them. I don't know what the hell it is. It's big. It's big meat. And so the hunters go out and track this animal to take it down because they're hungry, because it's the dead of winter. And yeah, so off they go. You're left, you're a small child. Both of you are small children, like maybe 6 years old. You're not good for much in terms of service to the community. You can do things like haul wood and stuff like that. Your dad and her dad are both part of that hunting party. Both the mums have stayed behind. They come back later that day, like towards evening. They come back and they have the animal, but they also have your dad's body because he got gored by the animal when it came to the final. These people are hunting with spears. Okay, so when there's something that they want to kill, they have to get real up close and personal. I mean, they can throw them, okay, but usually that'll only take an animal down. And when you want to kill it, you have to get in while he got gored. You have to get close enough to get the spear into their heart. And so he got gored. And it was and of course, and your mother is heartbroken. Not your mother, Jessica's mother, because it's Jessica's father who got gored. Jessica's mother is heartbroken, and she dies about 3 months later of a broken heart. Essentially, I mean, yeah, she gets sick, but what really killed her is a broken heart and fear. They're telling me the fear was what really did her in. And Jessica moves in. Jessica and her older brother, who is about 9 or 10, and a younger child. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl just by look. Is it a boy or a girl? What difference? A younger child. Maybe 2 or 3, weaned and on their own 2 legs, and, like not as dependent as a baby, but still pretty. So there's 3 of you, and 3 of them, I mean, Jessica's family, and they move in with you. And you grow up as sisters. You were friends before because you're about the same age. And so you've grown up together and acted. There aren't very many kids in that, there's maybe only 12, 15 kids under the age of like pre-puberty, under the age of 12 or 13. So you know each other really well. So that's one lifetime. Kim. That's how she comes into your life in that lifetime. And you are, for all intents and purposes, you treat each other as sisters for the rest of your life. And the other siblings too, like the whole family just really does become one. Kim says she had 2 natural siblings. Yeah. Do you mean in like life now, or in the previous lifetime? Yes, she had 2. Sorry, I'm not really following. Okay, well, doesn't matter. That's what I got for you, Kim. That's pretty interesting. I have never seen a pre-Roman civilization before for this reading. This is very cool to see how they lived and how they treated each other and how they acted. That was very cool. That was very cool.
They made up for it with one of her other lifetimes. So she was in the Loire Valley.
She was what?
In the Loire Valley.
Ooh, royalty.
Her family owned a winery. I see her with that Jessica. Is that how she says it?
Jessica. Just like Jessica, except her dad got fancy.
Yeah, I see them together. She's the younger sister. You're the older sister. Family's pretty well off. I see you walking down a country lane together. And, you liked ribbons. You were kind of fascinated with them.
What girl doesn't?
She tried to talk to her father. She kind of wanted to get into producing them, but we're talking a long time ago. So he kind of tested her. He asked her to kind of join him in the winery. Just see, he was like a test for her to see, well, we'll see if you have any talent, business acumen. Well, she surprised him. He was hoping that was his way out, but it wasn't, because she really surprised him with how quick she was. She had a natural gift for business, which he totally caught him off guard. So it took her a while to convince him. And then I see her when she's older, because she's 16 about this time, going to Paris to look into buying a shop. And she wanted to do kind of an apprenticeship. And because her father was so wealthy and well known, they kind of accepted her because they kind of had to, because they owed dad some favors. So she kind of got in the door of the ribbon making business. And it was really successful. I see her exporting ribbon to the Americas, actually. So she had another lifetime where she didn't have children, where this was kind of her baby. That business was her baby. And then, of course, looking after her sister, making sure her sister got to do what she wanted to do, because she didn't want her to be forced to marry somebody she didn't really like. It's like she didn't want it to be a business arrangement. She wanted her sister to be happy. Her sister had, I'm getting 5 children.
Wow.
So, yeah. So they kind of were like each other's companion, because it was hard for women, because they weren't allowed to talk about business, quote unquote, back then. You were supposed to be doing embroidery and painting and stuff like that. Which, interestingly enough, neither one of them were that interested in. Although her sister was more of the person who wanted to have a family. And through her sister, she got to become an aunt, which she loved because she could still do what she longed to do in her heart, but she also got to spoil her nieces and nephews. I'm getting 3 girls, 2 boys. So, but that was a good life. They lived quite a long time. Her sister lost her husband in an accident. I'm seeing a horse. So she never remarried. She just stayed a widow, excuse me. She just stayed a widow. But yeah, he meant a lot to her. So that was a huge loss, but the children really helped cushion some of that loss, even though they suffered the same loss. So, but they made a very happy home together, and they lived to be quite a good age. And their kids were all successful too, because they carried that tradition down. They wanted their kids to be able to choose and to use their gifts for what they were interested in, not necessarily dictated by what they had to do, although they got really lucky because the 2 boys were very interested in the winery. So they kept it going, and it was a very successful winery. I'm seeing a lot of money, just saying. So that was your other lifetime, one of them anyway.
That's awesome. Thank you, Pixie.
You're
okay. Welcome. I hope that helps you, Kim. You've had lots of lifetimes with her. Well, lots. 5 for sure that I saw anyway.
Close.
Next, I have Andrea, who wants to know, and this is for you, Pixie. She wants to know, do I have a past life in Scotland?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow, that was fast. The minute I closed my eyes, I saw you in playing the bagpipes. You're a male. You're in a kilt. I don't know. I'm hearing McGregor, the McGregors. You had a talent for bagpipes from the time you were really young, and not everybody that's Scottish can play the bagpipes. It's not an easy instrument to play. You loved it. You were well known for it. They would actually pay for you to travel, like to somebody's wedding or a special occasion. You got paid to play the pipes. You were kind of interesting. You're kind of a loner. You liked your alone time. You like to be out in the mountains. It's what I'm seeing is really stunningly beautiful, but it's, you like to be by yourself for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Let's see. Okay. You're responsible for a sibling, a younger brother, is what I'm hearing. And it's kind of like your parents kind of abdicated the whole job to you. And it didn't give you a lot of time for yourself for quite a few years, actually, is what I'm seeing. So it was your way of disappearing into the wilderness, and that's where you found peace. You loved it. It was quiet. You didn't have any demands on your time. A lot of times I'm seeing you would go and you wouldn't tell anybody where you were headed, which was kind of unusual at that time because you could get into trouble. So they usually would tell someone else where they were going if they were going alone, or they would go with another person. There's another man that feels the same way that you do about having some peace and quiet. I'm showing you got downloads of music So not only did you play the pipes, but you wrote music. So there's some original music, and I'm getting it still exists. Like I'm seeing the paper it's written on. I feel like there's going to be somebody who's young that was like you in that lifetime that is searching for old music. What they're trying to do is make sure it doesn't get lost. They're very interested in preserving the history of the music in the Highlands. So they do a lot of searching throughout Scotland for it. They dipped a little bit into Ireland because some of it went across the border. The Scots didn't like the English, so it really didn't go that way very much. Yeah, is this another lifetime where this person did not get married? I don't think they wanted the responsibility of a family. They loved their life. They could travel when they wanted to. They were in demand for many years for the talent they had musically. I'm getting that if you went there on a vacation, there's a place that you would recognize immediately. It's almost like you would be transported back to that time. You love that life. It was a life that you really loved, and you lived to be, wow, I'm getting 80. You lived to be 80 years old, which is a long time even by today's standards for some people. So I hope that helps. I would be interesting if you listen to some bagpipe music to see if it sets off any kind of recognition, because you'd know immediately what it was.
Yeah, you'd recognize it. I get that very strongly.
Yep. It's a huge part of who you were. It was your whole life. So I hope that you found that interesting, Andrea. But yes, you loved your life there. So you would probably be attracted to that country. You wouldn't be repelled by it because it would hold fond memories for you.
Thanks, Pixie. And thank you, Andrea, for your question. And I want to thank Leah and Kim for their super stickers. Thank you so much. Really appreciated, because I just hit 500 subscribers. So these are along with Jeremy's, these are my very first super stickers. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much. Andrea says she doesn't listen to it, but she will. It gets her in a happy mood. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I hope you can go.
I got full body chills when she said that.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to get into it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll put it towards StreamYard. You're right, Kim. You're right. I will. Jeremy's was the first. This is the first live that I've had where I've gotten super stickers. Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
Miss Juan's celebrating over there too.
That's actually Wendy, and she's arguing with Wendy. Yeah, it's Wendy who's squawking. Wendy's yelling at the budgie because the budgie's eating.
Because I can't see one because she's facing away from me. So, I mean, you know your bird obviously way better than I do.
They never shut up. I mean, what can I say? Okay. So
I wanted to just look over her shoulder at everybody.
Yeah, just giving everybody the side eye. So the next person in the queue is Venus, and Venus redid her question. She says, what significant past life did my mom and I share? And she also said some more. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
She said more about it. What significant past life did my mom and I share? How did this affect our relationship in this lifetime? Okay, so you guys, you all know the drill, right? Like, that you generally, almost always, it's not just generally, but almost, oh my God, my hair is a mess. Almost always the people that are in your immediate family are people that you've had multiple lifetimes with. They're part of your close soul family, and they are integral to your spiritual development. So if you have a sibling, parent, grandparent, chances are probably 95%, 98% that you've had lifetimes with these individuals before. I mean, I take it as a given because it's so rare that they're new. It does happen, but not usually. Okay. Let's see. Now, so your mom, you have had many lifetimes with your mother. Like I'm seeing 8 or 10. Like, and there's issues of boundaries between you that you work out, that you work on. Like, it seems like every single lifetime you work on boundary issues together. And that's not unusual. Oh, I'm sorry, Awokeson, because you know what? Questions are closed. I'm so sorry. I don't think we can take your question where we've got like 10. Hi, Ron. And so, okay, just a second. Where am I?
What number are we on?
I don't know. Okay. I think 6.
Oh,
and okay, all right. Well, we'll put Awoken. We'll give it a good shot and do you at the very end. Okay. Hang on. No, Venus, you were number 3, but we answered a question before you, so I think we're on like 4 or 5. I think we have like 5 left. Didn't get my okay. So significant past life. Well, I mean, every past life is significant because every past life has, lessons. So let's just see what they show me. Okay, so here's a lifetime where you're the grandma and she's the grandchild. And I'm seeing South America. Or maybe it's Arizona. It's indigenous. You're indigenous, and you're living in a place that has pueblos. So that's just a wild ass guess that it's Arizona. It feels like Arizona. What I'm seeing is that you're the grandmother and you are in your maybe late 50s. You're starting to get some gray in your hair. Her parents have died. I don't know how, and I'm not going to take the time to look. I mean, I could find out, but it doesn't really matter. She's living with you. Stop. She's living with you, and so is her older brother. And there's an older sister who's married and gone off somewhere to like another village or another pueblo, but she's not there. And you're maybe 9 or 10. And the older brother is maybe 16. So just becoming a man. And the 3 of you are living in the pueblo. You're part of the community. You've lived there your whole life. You have actually a really nice life. like the bad things that happen are things like, thunderstorms. It's not like there's enough to eat. There's enough time to do art, like to do some nice pottery. I see people working on pottery, and I see people working on skins and decorating and beading and stitching on skins. So, I mean, if a community has the time to do that, to work on art, that means that their survival is, pretty much looked after. Because when you're looking at survival, you're not going to be looking at making pretty stuff, right? Or making stuff pretty. She has Grandma, you have a quick temper, partly because you're in pain. You have your joints hurt nearly all the time. I mean, arthritis, right? Your joints hurt nearly all the time, and you drink a lot of willow tea, but it only does so much. So you have a bit of a quick temper, and you regret it. And you apologize after losing your temper and snapping at your granddaughter. And you genuinely do feel bad about it, because this is not how we treat children. But it's very difficult for you with the amount of pain that you're in. It's a good life. I mean, all things considered about what life could be like in those days. There is contact with white people, but it's very distant and it doesn't affect you. There are people in your tribe who have more frequent contact, like trading and stuff like that, but you never see them. Some disease, I don't know what, maybe mumps, maybe measles, like it's a normal sort of childhood disease, goes through the pueblo and hits adults and children alike. And that's really hard because a lot of people die. So you end up, isn't that interesting? Here's somebody else who ends up adopting more children into the family. So you adopt 2 more kids, both of them younger than your mom, than your granddaughter. I'm so confused. Sorry. You as the grandmother adopt 2 more little kids who are younger than your granddaughter. They have no parents. Both their parents died. And life is tough because you don't have as many hunters, and you don't have as many people to be able to work the. You have some things growing, like not a farm. Let's just call it a farm. You have I think they're beans because they're climbing. Beans and corn. Beans and corn and squash, I guess, the 3 sisters you have growing. And there aren't enough people left to do all to make the amount of food, but there aren't very many people left to feed, so it sort of works out. But it's a difficult 2 or 3 years after that disease goes through your community. By this point, your brother is married, has a wife. They don't have any children yet. And you're looking to get married yourself pretty soon. You look about 16, 17, around there. You're very skilled in working with skins. You're a very skilled leather worker and bead worker and so on. There. Yeah, you have a good life. You have a good life. You live to an old age. You have 4 children. I see 3 boys and a girl. Oh, and the girl is your little angel. You just love her. No, sorry. Your mother has 4 children. The granddaughter has 4 children. Yeah. Grandmother survives the plague, but then it looks like she dies very suddenly. It's like a heart attack or a stroke or something very quick, very sudden. She just essentially, it's a good death. She just basically falls asleep and doesn't wake up. So, yeah. So that's what I've got. So you and your mother had some good lifetimes together where you worked well together and you were able to accomplish goals together, but there's also issues of boundaries between you and what's an appropriate boundary and what isn't. Like you're negotiating that all the time. It feels like to me. So I hope that's helpful to you. Thank you, Venus. Thanks for your question. And thank you. Oh my, sorry. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you also. Someone else with Lisa Lazarus. Welcome. This is your first time here, I think, and thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate that. And Pierrette's here. Hi, Pierrette. I'm sorry if there's other people that have come in that I haven't said hello to because, like, my eyes are closed. I'm not here. That's just how it works.
I do have something for Venus real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm getting a lifetime in New York City when there were, a lot of neighborhoods that were like one nationality or another because everybody was an immigrant. It was extremely crowded.
Yeah.
A lot of very chaotic. Your mom did not like her life. She feels trapped because, she can't stop having children. It's not always her choice to have engage in the activity that creates the children. She is not happy. So she kind of let you guys roam free, and that wasn't necessarily a good idea all the time because you had, men who were drunk on the street, but she just kind of wanted you guys to go out of the house. I think you were about 5. But you had, there were a lot of kids to play with because there were a lot of kids obviously in the neighborhood. But yeah, your mom, she was not a happy camper. And she didn't want any more children. She had 4. She thought that was way more than she wanted. I don't think she really wanted any, but that was kind of difficult to do.
Venus says that seems like her childhood in this lifetime too. Mm-hmm. She says she always thought she didn't like her kids.
That's kind of why I'm trying to share this with Venus, is because it might help her understand why her mother was so frustrated because she had absolutely no control over her life whatsoever. She just had to deal with it no matter what.
She has 4 kids in this lifetime too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. So she was just so overwhelmed. She was depressed. I see her crying a lot. She felt like a failure because she was so overwhelmed by everything. Just some people, I want to say, aren't cut out to have a large family. They would have preferred maybe not to have children, but it wasn't an option at that time. I get that you do not I don't feel like you like crowds. Like, you don't like being jammed in with a whole bunch of other people. This is going to be a kind of a difficult message, but she lost you because you were murdered by somebody. And excuse me, the message they gave me was that you come into this lifetime extremely conscious of time, because that lifetime was very short. And your mother's come in to try and, do a better job. They gave her some extra skills she didn't have at the time. But she still, I think, struggles with it. She's brave to come back and, try and go into the same scenario, but do a better job. I get that she actually thought twice about that soul contract. So she carries a lot of, she's very anxious, a very anxious person. Like it's hard for me to breathe. And she's probably what do they call it? A helicopter parent, because she brought with her that memory of your loss from the previous lifetime. I think that's why she's so anxious. And they're asking you to cut her some slack, because she really is, even though it may not seem that way to you, doing her absolute best. She's really hard on herself. Oof, sorry. She'll keep a lot of her emotions to herself, because she doesn't cry as like she did in the previous lifetime that I saw in, I want to say, the Bronx. It's in New York. So whenever she does something that really upsets you, they want you to take a breath, take a moment, realize that she doesn't have your strength. So they're asking you to be, oh man, sorry, it's emotional. They want you to be more patient and try and look for the reason why she behaves the way she does. Like, they don't want you to react as quickly as you might right now.
Venus says she has no emotion or affection.
Her mother?
Yeah, I guess so. I would say so.
You know what? I think she hides it really well.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that's true at all.
No. She sees it as weakness for some reason. But I think maybe from the past lifetime, she was always upset and always crying and very depressed and suicidal. And she's trying so hard to fight against that. For some reason, that memory is very close to her. That past life is really close in her memory for some reason. Maybe just as a reminder. But they part of the other message for you, Venus, is life is short. And when we can, even though sometimes it's extremely difficult, that we need to cut the other person a little bit of slack, because we really don't know what's going on in their inner world, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, she's kind of almost frozen with fear, terrified of making a mistake. So, when she's trying to, not step out there and do something where she's gonna make a mistake, is that past lifetime with you is like right there in her memory for some reason. It would be wonderful if she probably maybe doesn't have your belief system, but if she could see like past life regression person, so they could clear it out of her body, that would be wonderful. And
what she's really afraid of, Venus, is letting her emotions rule her and hurting you guys.
Mhm.
with her words, or hurting herself. I think that she's struggled with hurting herself. So, yeah.
Sometimes we just don't know what's going on because we're not always privy to what's going on in someone's inner world, but she's pretty tough on herself.
She's
Like,
very tough on herself. She accepts nothing less than her absolute best, like perfection in terms of her behavior. She has standards that are like up here. And she knows what she needs to do, and when she can't do it, or when she can't do it, when she doesn't get that, when she doesn't achieve that, then she really beats herself up.
Yeah, she's can be harder on herself than anybody.
Yeah. Oh, much. Yeah.
Like, in her mind, nothing she ever does is good enough.
Is good enough. Yeah, she's not good enough. Nothing she does is good enough, and she feels that very, very keenly, and doesn't want to show it because she believes in herself. She believes that once she starts showing it, she's afraid she won't be able to stop, and she'll go nuts.
Yep. So I don't know. I hope that helps you, Venus. I know it's very difficult sometimes for us to cut our parents some slack because we don't always know what's going on.
Yeah.
Depending on the generation, especially, they don't talk about. A lot of people don't from a certain generation. They don't talk about their feelings.
No,
nobody did. Their parents.
And honestly, are you going to tell your children? Speaking as a mother, I am not going to tell my children, who are clearly middle-aged adults now, I'm not going to tell them how many times I thought of just walking away. Really? I'm not going to say that to human beings that I love, no matter how difficult it was. So, yeah, Venus, that was the next thing I wanted to tell you. Talk to Viviani. She does family clearings. She does past life clearings. She's very good at it. And so, Diane, can you put Viviani's contact information into the chat for Venus so that, like Viviani's email address and stuff? I don't know. Is Diane
here? Should probably tell her that. Venus, you can talk to your guys, can talk to your mom's guys. If it's too difficult to talk to each other directly, you can ask your guys to talk to your mom's guides.
Yeah. Yes.
And send somebody love. You don't have to do it when they're right in front of you. You can send it long distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pink light.
Yeah. Maria has an excellent point. We tend to see them in their role, not as the individual person. Yeah. So you see mother and you have all these expectations of mother, and you don't see.
You don't see the person. I don't think you see them until you're a lot older. Maybe until the roles are almost reversed.
Yeah. Well, often it's not until you have kids yourself, and then you see, oh, so this is what it was like. Wow. No wonder she was. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Well, I hope that helped, and please do get in touch with Viviani. Diane just put her information in the chat there for you, and I worked with her for since I started doing Akashic Records, and she's an amazing reader. Shush. And Wanda's just encouraging that because she likes Viviani too. Let's see, where are we here next? Venus says she didn't see it until her dad passed 5 years ago. He was the one who showed love and affection. Yeah, that's often how it happens. But you had somebody in your family showing you love and affection. So
you could have two parents that were not able to do it.
So next we have CJ, who wants to know if her boss Joe and her. This is for you, Pixie, by the way.
Okay.
I think. Have I lost track? Is this for you? No, I started Venus. Right. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So
they came in really wanting me to give her that message.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. It's perfectly fine. I mean, we jump into each other all the time.
Okay.
Did my boss Joe and I share a past life? Do you have your phone available to look at now, or do you want me to read the questions?
No, I can read them. They're showing
Oh,
us.
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how much you could see.
Yeah, it says, ask CJ with message, did my boss Joe and I share a past life? I don't get one. Not with him. He's one of your lessons, though.
Oh, yeah, he's a big lesson.
As part of his soul contract. Hold on a second. When you look at Joe, you just see the person who's being, difficult, punitive,
strict.
They want you to put yourself in a bubble, number one, to protect yourself from his energy. His energy, he's not angry with you. He's angry at the world, this person. Unfortunately, a lot of people that are like that, they make them bosses, and it's got to have something to do with their soul contracts and stuff. But yeah, I'm getting he's in pain. Let me ask why.
She says, ha ha, yes. At him being angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can feel it. Somebody made him feel like a failure as a kid. Like nothing this person did was ever good enough. There was unfortunately, a lot of abuse. And if you can't find a way to cope with that for yourself, then it comes out because you hang on to it. And when something reminds you of that previous circumstance, that's when it comes out. It just boom. It's like he doesn't have 100% control of it, which is really dicey considering he's a boss, because there are some things. This is his challenge. He needs to deal with whatever it is, because I'm seeing it's going to be a problem.
She says everyone is out to get him and the world is against him.
Yeah, well, that's why he feels that way. He never received any he never received any love and affection. His father didn't know how to give it. He was extremely impatient. He also had a drinking problem. So there was a lot of, excuse me, emotional and physical abuse. I don't know why, but I feel like he left home early. The minute he could leave and support himself, he was gone. So part of what's driving his behavior is his fear that he's going to not have a job and end up in this kind of situation he was in as a kid. That's what's driving his behavior. He's petrified. I know it doesn't seem like that, but that's where a lot of the anger is coming from. If he blames other people for whatever he's feeling, then he doesn't have to take the responsibility for it. It's kind of a pattern that he learned from his father, which is very destructive. He's having an issue at home too.
She says, yes, he did leave home as a teenager.
Yeah. He's having an issue at his own home, outside of work. So it's adding an extra layer of fear, anger, never feeling like he's gonna be good enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you can look at a person that way, it helps. It doesn't, make it okay, but it helps to understand it's not all about you, because it feels like that to you because that's what he received as a child. So what you're getting from him is what his father dished out to him as a child. It's the only way right now. I'm getting there's something coming up. It's the only way right now he knows how to do his job. But I'm getting it's going to cost him dearly. Not just this is outside of work in his personal life. I see somebody packing a suitcase and it's not him. He's going to have a very hard time with that. So he's going to go from angry to sullen and quiet. You're going to see the change in his behavior, and you're going to wonder what is going on. You can't help him. It's not your job to help him. But if you surround yourself, protect yourself with light, put yourself in a great big bubble, and you make it pink, because pink is a color of love. So, believe it or not, he really, I don't think he's ever felt loved. So he doesn't know what that's like. He has no clue what that's like. It makes him uncomfortable because he doesn't understand it. He only understands the anger and the hurt, and he feels like he weighs a ton to me, like his energy. So what I'm suggesting to you is to I don't know if you know how to do that, but you can probably find a video on YouTube that will explain to you how to protect yourself and put yourself in a bubble. Do it every day before you leave the house. Every day, no matter what, no matter where you're going, whether you're going to work or not, it doesn't really matter. It protects your energy. It keeps you safe from people that that drain people's energies. A lot of people do that on purpose. Some don't. That's the way they are, and they don't realize it. So it's going to help protect you at work. It's going to put that barrier between you and him. But you're going to start to see, he's going to start to evolve. It's not going to, I'm getting like 2 weeks from now, you're going to see something happen. This behavior is going to change, and you're going to be wondering what in the world is, you're going to be uncomfortable, because you're like, well, what does this mean? What's next, kind of thing. But yeah.
Somebody's going to tell him to get therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you, but somebody else in his life is going to tell him to get therapy, and that he needs it. And at first he's going to be, it's all a bunch of bullshit. But it's going to sort of stew in the back of his brain, and eventually he will.
He's kind of got an ultimatum on both sides.
Yeah.
Home and work.
Yeah. So
because it's also coming from work, he's not going to be able to poo-poo it as much as he might have in the past. Yeah. But he's also got an ultimatum from his home base.
Yeah.
So it's coming from both sides. It's going to have to, because it's kind of like, see this picture of, you get a big, tall, you're trying to push over this great big, tall piece of like a stump almost, where you push the roots out of the ground. Is kind of the visual that they're giving me. So keep yourself protected and watch, because there's going to be some big changes at work.
Yeah.
I hope that helps you hang in there.
Yeah. Good luck to you, CJ. It's awful living with or working with somebody like that. It really is. I've done it, and I'm sure Pixie has as well. Yep. And it's horrible. So my heart goes out to you, girl. Next, we have T-Lyn, who wants to know if she was a seer in a past life. I mean, geez, T-Lyn, like, didn't you know that? And if it's spilling into or affecting this life. Okay, so those kinds of skills, like the clairs and the those are things that we kind of have. All of us have, for one thing. Okay. And whether we choose to develop them or not is up to us. It's not, it's not something that all of us necessarily choose to do. Some of us, it shows up in dreams, and others, we just occasionally get a feeling about something, and so we don't really know, but we all have them. Some are stronger than others. Like some may be more, some people may never hear anything. They only see things, or they know things without knowing how they know these things. But that's all variations on the clair skills, the seer's skills. So we're all seers, and we were all seers in our past lives. Now, and this is just me talking. This isn't anything from the masters, okay, T-Lynn? Let's just be real clear. This is just me coming from me. Is it spilling into or affecting this life? Okay. Yeah, Leah, me too. I was married to that personality. I damn near killed him. Or me. But yeah, it's a horrible way to live. If it's spilling to or affecting. Okay, so let me just take a look here. Okay, T-Lynn? What's happening? I mean, I can see your guides, and they're like pouring energy through your crown chakra, which tells me that your skills are awakening. That they're beginning to. I mean, not that they were asleep before, but they're starting to develop. And you're becoming more aware of them because they're getting, more sort of insistent and I don't want to say intrusive, but yeah, intrusive. They're pushing into your everyday thoughts. So they're developing. Go with it. I mean, if you don't want to, but like if you don't want to, I don't understand why you're here. Clearly, you want to develop spiritually because you're here. This isn't a community that I mean, we encourage spiritual development in this community. We support it. We want to see it. And we encourage each other to develop spiritually as much as we can. So throughout like the whole community, not just this chat community, but okay, were you a seer in a past life? I see that's, I mean, I'll look at a past life, but that's not material. That's not relevant, really. The fact is that you're developing your spiritual gifts now. And so proceed down that path if that's what you choose. If you choose not to, just let your guides know, stop giving me energy, stop letting me know I don't want to hear it, and it'll stop. But if you do want to, then, start paying attention to your dreams, start meditating more, like meditate every day if you can. Guided meditations are wonderful. I swear by guided meditations. And there's lots of guided meditations about developing spiritual qualities and developing your clairs and all the rest of that. There's lots of them. They're all over YouTube. There's like thousands of them. I'm not joking. And you have, they're showing me like really quickly. I just see like a slideshow of previous lifetimes as what you would call a seer. I see a woman in Ireland. Ireland? Yeah, I see a woman in Ireland who's a midwife. You're a midwife. I'm seeing you when you're about 35-ish or so, like a mature woman, but not an older, like not old, okay? But in like the prime of your life. You're a midwife, and you have all kinds of, all kinds of remedies because your grandmother taught you. Living in a village, you're a very good healer. You have, you make tinctures and you make salves and you make all kinds of things in your cottage. And every so often you have a dream that tells you something, and you tell the people in the village, make sure you put by enough food for the winter. Make sure you plant that second crop of whatever, of cabbage. make sure you have, just because you can see something coming down the roads like a hailstorm that will spoil the crop. So you do your best to use, and you're dancing a fine. You're wearing a long dress. So I'm guessing this is like the 16 or 1700s. It's earlier than the 1800s, but you're dancing a fine line there, because even though there wasn't really any witch trials in Ireland the way there was in other places, there's still danger. You're fully aware of that. But nobody rats you out to the church or anything. They just say, oh, Bridie knows things. Bridie, isn't that interesting? It's the first time I've gotten a name. Bridie knows things, they say. There's one time where you tell people in the winter there's going to be a flood. There's going to be a flood when the snows melt in the hills. So move your cattle from by the river, and they don't do it. And there's like 10 cattle that are drowned, which is a fortune in that time. And in that place, that is, that is a devastating loss. That happened when you were quite young. That happened when you were like 17. So after that, people started taking you seriously. And mercifully, nobody thought you'd caused it with your witchcraft. It was a good village. It was a good life. A little dangerous because you're really careful about what you say to who you say it. But people come to you for healing, and you're very good at that. So people trust you. Nobody betrays you. By that, I mean, nobody accuses you of witchcraft. You're just a wise woman. You never marry because you never married because you never wanted to be some man's servant. I hear you, girl. You don't have any children. But the children in the village come to you anyway, and you like them, and you help them, and you enjoy them, and you take them with you. Oh, isn't that sweet? You take them with you into the woods to gather the herbs and the plants and the roots and things that you need. So you take them with you. One of them ends up being your apprentice, and you start teaching her when she's about 10. So by the time she's 13, she's helping you midwifing. Wow. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Very cool life there, T-Lynn. So there you are.
She saw somebody murdered, though, for being a witch.
Well, that's what scared the shit out of her, yeah.
3 other times, too, she's been subject to problems. Let's put it that way. But what I heard them say really loud is, I hide in plain sight. And they're going, now is the time. Now is the time. Is what it super loud. I heard it. And I get that animals really like you, even wild animals. You have an affinity for them, and they have an affinity for you. But they want you now. They're saying now's the time. Can't hide that light under a bushel anymore.
Yeah.
They're saying it's safe.
Yeah.
It's safe is what I'm hearing really loud.
And the other thing is that any of you who are in the same situation as T-Lynn with your spiritual abilities awakening, if you really feel if you're American, it is entirely possible that you would not be feeling safe. And so then you might want to consider getting a ministry, a minister's designation from the Universal Life Church. And then you are a spiritual guide or a spiritual, what is a spiritual counselor? That's it, spiritual counselor. And that covers a lot of ground.
I just heard, we will bring them onto you. So they're kind of waiting for you. I see starting blocks, a picture of starting blocks, which is let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your green light to match your green eyes. Me too. I have green eyes. And so did my dad. And so did my son. So let's see. T. Lynn, I hope that helped you. Alyssa, I'm so sorry that you felt like an outcast. I know what that's like. And I just learned to live with it and embrace the weirdness. But that took time. It's not something that's easy to do when you're a kid, when you're young. I mean, now I'm old enough, I don't give a damn. Okay, Ember wants to know, what do I need? Wonderful username. Ember Glows Bright wants to know, what do I need to know to turn up the dial on my Claire abilities so I can help myself and others? Well,
I don't know, but I heard music. Music. Do you listen to music? They're trying to give you messages through music, is what I'm hearing. Hold on. What do I need? Well, that's one of the ways. I'm hearing go for a walk. Oh God, they're giving me a list. Go for a walk. Keep a journal.
She says she does listen to music.
Okay, but they're going to start. That's going to be one of the ways they start to talk to you. Because you're kind of, I think you're getting it now, but I think you're kind of wondering, you're thinking it's your imagination, and they're telling you it's not your imagination. So I don't know what you journal. They want a gratitude journal, and they want just a journal where you get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. So you have a very busy mind. And your monkey mind is something you have to work on. Those negative, random thoughts that come over and over and over again. There's a book called Mirror Work by, what's her name? I can see her, Louise Hay. It's a very good book. I've used it. I think Linda's used it too. But it'll help get a lot of stuff out that you're not even aware of that you're thinking sometimes. Like some people walk past a mirror, they don't even look at themselves really. They kind of give it a glancing, they kind of glance at the mirror, but they don't really look at the mirror. So that's part of what that book is designed to do. They gave me a song probably for a reason. Sometimes they're funny.
What song?
Ready, because here I come.
Awesome. Ember says she was diagnosed with ADHD, and she thinks it's played a big part. Yeah, I would agree. I have it as well, and so do several other readers. Mm-hmm. I think that I think that it has to do with imagination. The creativity and imagination is the channel to spirit, and so people who are
extremely connected. Yes.
Yeah. So, shush. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm hearing the song from the Ponderosa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've never only ever known the melody, not the lyrics for that one. So you might have to look that one up because I think it does have lyrics actually, but you didn't really hear them, when they played the intro. I was not, I know a lot of television from the United States because I was not raised here. So, but I know about Bonanza.
I think Bonanza just had, like, as far as I know, I don't think it had any lyrics. All I hear is the music. I don't hear the lyrics
I think
when
I don't think they played them during the intro, but I think they might have lyrics. I don't know for sure, but that's something I'm hearing. Yes, they do. Well, I got a know-it-all guide on board right now. So
and
they're saying, look it up, is what they're saying. You might want to, because this happens to me occasionally, and I love a lot of music, but I've been hearing this song for 3 days. And I don't have any of those apps on my phone where you can sing into it and find out, what the song is. But that song's they don't let it go. When it's important, you'll get it over and over and over again. You'll wake up, the first thing you hear when you open your eyes is a song. And so that kind of insistent message is really important. So I'm gonna break down and I'm just trying to decide between 2 different apps where I can just hum the melody and they'll give me the song. Because obviously, if you think about the amount of music, especially as long as Linda and I have been around, that we know, it's a pretty vast library, let's put it that way. Right?
especially if you like music and you listen to it a lot, then you're going to have this huge library in your head that
Yep.
you don't even know you have until this stuff comes back,
I can't get that. Get ready. Here I come. Song out of my head now. It's stuck in there.
Ember said she's been crocheting a lot more and thinking to the guide. I knit. I know how to crochet, but I like knitting a lot more than I like crocheting. So that's what I do. And I can tell you that is a very, very meditative state of mind to be in. And it's very good for connecting with for me, speaking for myself, because it's mindless, right? My hands are busy. My monkey mind is busy.
Rhythmic. It's rhythmic.
Yeah. And it leaves the important part of my mind free to connect with my guides because my monkey mind is busy, managing my hands. Yeah. See? Yeah. That's right.
So that's what they're telling me right now. And the reason they want you to keep a journal is they want you to look at the journal and then check it the next day because you're going to see a pattern where they're going to start to talk to you through the journal. I don't think people realize that, but that's what they're telling me they're going to do. So that journal is extremely important. They're saying, go buy yourself a book you like the look of. There's something about what you choose that's also conducive to them giving you messages.
Yeah.
So and you do know, I hope, how to protect yourself because that's a very important thing, to ground yourself, to learn how to clear your auric field, to align your chakras. You can find a lot of that information on YouTube, not necessarily all of the information, but you definitely you always want to work in the light. So you always want to call in 100% divine white light.
She wants to know if they're talking to her through the déjà vus that she's experienced throughout her life. I don't know. I mean, for me, déjà vus are dreams, precognitive dreams that I have that then come true. That's what I experience as déjà vu.
It's their way of reminding her about something that happened in a past life. I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
Remember this? Do you remember? You know why this feels familiar? That's they're cueing her. Like, there's a reason why this feels so familiar to me.
Yeah.
That's what you should be thinking whenever you do that.
Yeah. And why that should be.
If you're somewhere and you don't have your book with you, just in case, record it and then write it. The reason it's so important to write it down is a whole different vibration than when you just record something. Than when you actually write it down. It's the way your brain functions. It's much better to write it down. So I hope that helps you a lot. I hope that
Yeah.
speeds things up for you. It
Yeah.
should, because they're ready. They're more than ready.
And apparently you are too. So I think I'm reading the next one. Is Angela, and she's not she's our last in the Nightbot queue, but we also have Tainita and Viviani after her, and then we're going to be done. Just to let you all know where we're at in the queue. So we have 2 more questions. Well, this one and 2 more after.
Okay.
Angela Hunter wants to know insight about if my ex is still supposed to be part of my future, but she's also written some additional information here that I'm going to put up. Do I still have a soul contract to fulfill with my ex? It shows up out of the blue whenever my kids or I mention him. Any insight as to why? Well, your kids are the big reason. You and him, your soul contract is around the kids. One of the aspects of your soul contract is around the kids and around their growth and their upbringing and their care, and that's going to last this lifetime because of the children that you share. Stop that. It hurts so much. I'm already deaf. Hang on. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just asking for confirmation, and the contract revolves not just it revolves around the children mainly. Okay, and this is like sounds. Never mind. I'll just say it. You mainly were brought together or came together to make those children, to bring those children into being for some reason, and both of you are responsible. Both of you will continue to share a contract around those children because you're going to be going to graduations and marriages and grandchildren and all the rest of it together. So that contract is not complete. It won't be complete until you leave this lifetime. So, yeah. Does that help at all, Angela? Are you still here, Angela? Oh, he shows up. Oh, he shows up out of the blue whenever my kids or I mention him. Yeah. Well, I don't know why he shows up out of the blue. I think maybe he's just picking up the vibes. But yeah, that's your. She says he has. Wait a second. He has no interest in being part of a family. Yeah, that's part of his lesson. That's part of his lesson. Is how to be part of a family and how to be completely, how to be a parent, how to be a partner, how to be all of those things. But that really is part of his lesson. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he doesn't really want to do it because lessons are no fun, are they? But oh, Lissa, did I miss you?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Can you put it in again, please? I'm so sorry, but it seems to have like disappeared. I know I had it in the list and I was just looking for it. I can't find it now. So, yeah, there's a nice discussion of déjà vus going on in the chat. They're so different for each of us, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
He keeps coming and showing up. It's rather creepy how he just pops up. Well, you may want to have your place swept for bugs, your computer checked, because I know I had a boss who, this was the rack job boss. He had spyware installed in the company laptop that I was using. He could hear everything that went on in my house because I was working from home. He could hear everything that went on in my house.
Ugh.
Yeah. And that was when I still had a partner.
Oh, Lord. Yikes.
Yeah. Very, very illegal, but it would have meant that I had to take my computer to the RCMP and ask them to look at it, you know, but, you know.
That's why I won't have Alexa.
Yeah.
It's like having the KGB in your house 24/7.
Yeah. 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 So that's just, you know, just a word of advice. You might want to have some stuff checked around your house and your laptop and your printer and so on, because
I think she needs to check her car.
Oh, that too.
Under her car.
A tracker? Yeah, but a tracker is one thing, but if he's like knowing that they talk about him and then he shows up, that means he's listening.
Yeah, he is listening, but you know, he could have done that with her phone too. But this guy is I think you need to talk to somebody about him.
Yeah. Yeah, get your electronics checked.
It won't hurt to go to the police station and ask.
Yeah.
And explain
get your electronics checked.
Yeah.
And
they are well versed in that kind of thing, and they can give you some tips. Right? I feel like when you go in there, you're going to get the right person too. It's going to be the right police officer. I think your guys are going to send that particular person out to talk to you.
And the kids' cell phones as well. Viviani, excellent point. Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody's cell phones, everybody's electronics, everybody's everything. Just bring it all to the police and say,
yeah, this is my issue. I'm really worried. This is really creepy, and explain what's going on to that particular person.
Yeah.
Because they're sending you, that police officer that they're sending to talk to you when you go there, he's had something like that happen to a member of his family. That's why they're sending him out to talk to you. Because he doesn't take that lightly. He knows exactly how that relative felt. And he has a real problem with people like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, go and get them all checked, okay? Okay, so Lissa, please repeat your question. I'm so sorry to have to ask you to do this, but
we want to answer it.
Yeah, we want to answer it. And Tainita has a really, really good suggestion too. She says, try to switch the cell phones to flight mode for the day and see the reaction. And talk about him. Like talk about him in front of the phone and see if he shows up then. Sorry. Oh, anyway, okay. So, well, oh yeah, okay, that's a good point. Thanks, Leah, for bringing us back to reality. Okay, and here is Lissa's question. This is yours, Pixie.
Okay. Was I a soldier? Oh boy. In the Civil War or World War II? I'm just reading the question. I'm getting civil. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Here at a base, Missouri. Okay, let's see. 15. Fought for the South. Ooh, this is not my favorite place to go. Hold on a second. Okay, you actually didn't get killed in the war, which is pretty amazing because I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on around you that's pretty ugly. But you were captured. You were put in a really nasty prison. But, you know, you were gifted with a very determined personality in that lifetime. Like really stubborn, really persistent. It's what saved you a couple of times. It also gave you a bit of a barrier to some of the tragedy and the horror that was going on around you. So you did get to go back home, but obviously when you went back home, it wasn't the home you remembered when you left. Of course, you were a very different person too. I'm seeing a farm. You bought a farm when you went back. And interesting, this is interesting. I'm seeing corn, a little bit of tobacco, harder to grow in that particular area.
Lisa says, was it Georgia? Because she just heard that.
Let me ask them. Oh, yes, because I got the song Georgia. Georgia, Georgia. It's a beautiful song. Hold on. It took me out of what I was doing there for a second. You had a couple of, even though it was not an easy time, you had a couple of black farmhands. And they were, well, you kind of had to keep this on the down low, but they were more like friends, and they were like, they weren't slaves by any means. They actually had a small percentage in the money the farm made. They built small houses. Each of them built their own small house on the farm property. You wanted a little bit more because you wanted to have a family, so you needed more space. You were kind of planning ahead of time. I get that you had your eye on one specific girl. She admired your persistence, your hard work, your character, your kindness. It's an interesting thing. Because she thought, I can trust him. I can have children with him. I'll be safe with him. He'll guard me with his life. Is another phrase I'm hearing. And we'll build a heaven on earth. I can see you marrying her. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to tell you.
Lisa wants to know if she had dark hair. She can almost see her, she says.
Let me ask. That's your child you're seeing. It's not you. That's your daughter. Your hair was kind of sandy colored. You wore a special, it's not really a bonnet. It goes over the bun in the back of your head when you're working. But you guys had a dance, like you held a dance for all the farmers in the area. So it was like a big celebration after the harvest. So everybody would come. I hear fiddles. I see dancing, a lot of, food, because, for quite a while there was a shortage of food. Took a while to bring all the farms back because there was a lot of destruction that most people don't talk about. But that's your daughter you're seeing with the dark hair. And I see a son. and a baby. So this is, you're mm, married for, quite a few years, but you're not into your older years, what we call your senior years. Your daughter has, hold on a second. Joie de vivre, a joy of life, very happy, um, bubbly. It made him or you very happy because it was, you know, there wasn't a lot of joy, let's face it, when, from the time you were 15 onward until you got the farm and you started to build your life back. So she was kind of your favorite. It's unusual because back in the day, the boys were usually more valued.
Stop.
I'm hearing songbird, so she could sing. She loved to sing. You're both very proud of her because she was also, yeah, she had a way with animals too. She had a very specific way with animals.
A Disney princess.
See her sitting, in the forest playing with the animals. He was always very conscious of where, you were very conscious of where your daughter was at all times. Oh, okay. Whoa, wait a minute. I'm getting a neighbor, not a neighbor right next door to you, but in the vicinity, there was a guy you didn't like, and you didn't like him for a very good reason. Your instincts were 100% right, and you don't want this man anywhere near your family. And you watched him very closely because he took kind of a shine to your daughter, which you did not like. Actually, I see them like a group of people running him out of town. Like they literally ran him out of town because he was a huge problem. And even after he was run out of town, I don't see you letting your guard down. So unfortunately, you had to deal with that guy. I'm getting they had to run him out of town 3 times. And the last time they ran out of town, they threatened him, "If you come back, you're not gonna need to worry about being alive anymore," basically, because he caused a lot of problems. Yeah, do you have a sibling in this lifetime? Because I feel like I'm thinking, is it a sibling? I'm trying to figure out who this is. Somebody you're really, like, protective of. Do you have a niece? Niece. What am I hearing? Niece?
She has 4 of them, 4 siblings.
Yeah, but out of the is there one in particular that you're really overprotective of?
She says it could be her daughter now.
This is you're very protective of them. You're like their guardian angel. It kind of reminds me of the way you were in a previous lifetime. You carry that forward into this lifetime. And it's kind of like you're their guardian angel. You're going to make sure that nothing untoward, that's the word I'll use, kind of an old-fashioned word, happens. Not
She
on
says
your
it could be her youngest daughter.
There's one that's in particular, if she really thinks about it, it's a really strong feeling. I guess that it almost feels scary because it's so strong. It's such an overwhelming feeling that you're trying to figure out why do I feel that way about this particular. I see a child. Why do I feel so? But that's why you feel that way. Oh, same Same spirit, that's why, from that lifetime. So you came forward, and so did she came forward into this lifetime. That's where the connection is. So, I hope that helps you, but that was a after the war was hell on earth, but after the war, you made you know, a very like, I see you kneeling, making a almost like you made a pact with God that you would do your level best to make sure the rest of your life was not gonna be haunted by what you went through. And you kept your promise to work at it every single day, no matter what was going on. You created your own heaven on earth, is what I'm hearing. I hope that helps you.
Thanks, Pixie. Lissa says her youngest daughter is in a horrible relationship and she's afraid he's going to kill her. So
that spirit from that when I told you they ran out of town.
Yeah, that's him, isn't it?
That's him. Oh God, yes. I just got full body chills. That's him.
I got that. That's absolutely him. So,
oh my Lord. Hold on, let me ask them. Pray for her. I feel like this guy tries to keep everybody away from her so he can totally control her.
Yeah. So stay in touch with her. Don't let him do that. No.
He's God, I don't want to scare Lisa, but he's a problem. He needs to be gone and figure out a way she can I want to say have her watch some YouTube videos or watch them with her if you can on narcissism. And he also has another mental health issue. So he's, that's why I couldn't shake it. I was like, there's somebody that you are trying to protect with everything you've got. And you can call in your guides and angels too and ask them for suggestions on what to do and for help. Send Archangel Michael to your daughter.
Yeah.
And ask for his protection against anything that would be of harm to her.
She just refuses to leave him.
Because he's brainwashed her.
Yeah.
He's got her thinking she can't do any better than him, which is totally incorrect.
And that it's all her fault.
Yeah. Well, everything's always somebody else's fault.
Well, yeah. It's already always a woman's fault. Come on. So, yeah. Wow.
There are female narcissists too. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. They do exist. It's just that we tend to see the males more clearly because of their behavior so overt, because it's more acceptable in society. I'll certainly put your daughter on my prayer list. I don't need her name. They'll know who she is. And then I would also, I don't know what your belief system is, but I would also ask, there are some places on Facebook where you can actually anonymously ask for prayers.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give them your name. You just, you could just give your daughter's first name. They'll know who it is. I mean, the guys always know who it is that's requesting the prayer and who needs the protection. But I don't know. Does he allow you to give her any gifts? Because it'd be nice if you could give her like a protection bracelet or a protection necklace, maybe. But I'm thinking she'd probably have to hide it from him, which really, it's not fun. ask them, ask your guides. I'm getting they're going to tell you what else they can do besides just sending Archangel Michael to be with her.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because I see a bunch of spirits around him. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. They're causing him a lot of confusion. She has a spirit guide that's been working on him actually. It's their goal to protect her, but that's what they're working on him for. It's not to make him better, it's to basically make him want to leave. It's a very interesting picture that I'm seeing. It's an odd image. It's almost like I see ghosts circling him. It's really, yeah. Put that shield up though. Ask Archangel Michael to go to your daughter and ask. Archangel Raphael is a healer, so ask him to heal her heart and to help her see the truth of the situation she's in. She's very sweet person, very just a really sweet personality. I mean, he's got her really bamboozled, unfortunately. But yeah, and I would, if you can, Lisa, look at watch some videos by Dr. Ramani. She's an expert in narcissism, and she'll help you understand what your situation is with what the situation is with your daughter, and if there's any way to help her. But yeah, I'm gonna put her on my prayer list and ask for also.
We'll be praying. We'll be praying for her.
Yep. I wish I had a magic solution for you, Lisa, because I can understand that you're afraid. I don't blame you. I mean, you're a caring person. Yeah.
There's not much you can do except be there when she needs you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah. Geez, Lisa, I'm really sorry.
I wish we had more solutions for you. I feel like this is going to take a little bit of time. It's weird. I feel like there's a part of you that's there, like part of your soul is there, because you're still enmeshed in that previous lifetime where you were constantly watching her all the time. So it's also taking some of your energy, which is not uncommon with a narcissistic person, because it affects everybody that's involved with the person they're involved with. So you also need to take good care of yourself. So, do some meditation. Like I said, I don't know what your religion is, but ask for help and ask for guidance, because I'll always give it when it's asked for. And I wish you and your daughter the best of luck.
Yeah, Liz, I'm so sorry that you're having to go through that. It's awful to watch. Okay, so now moving right along, we have Tanita and then Viviani to crown the readings, and then we'll say the closing prayer afterwards. So we've been going for 2 hours and 14 minutes. I'm gonna need a nap.
Yeah. It's not bad for us though.
No, I'm still good. So Tanita wants to know.
Do you have water?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. She wants to know, was my boyfriend in spirit so he's not in this world anymore. Okay, part of my soul contract, a lesson I needed to learn in this lifetime. Okay, yeah, that's all true. If we will ever meet or be together in future. Okay, yeah, this is I remember this question. Okay, so Tanita, I can't answer. Well, I don't know. Maybe Pixie can, but I can't answer anything about future stuff because it hasn't been determined, like the future lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been able to, and I've been told that by my guides that they're not determined. Like the contracts haven't been negotiated and written. There's, or maybe only partly negotiated and written. They don't want to answer any of that kind of stuff about future lives. Sometimes they'll answer about future events in this lifetime, but mostly I'm terrible at reading the future. Find somebody else who's better than me at that. But yeah, he was part of your soul contract, and he was a lesson you needed to learn in this lifetime. And you have been together before, and you will likely be together again because that's usually how it works. Is that an okay answer for you? Because it feels to me like you already knew most of this on some level.
He wants her to move on, because if she doesn't learn the lessons that she's supposed to learn and move through them, then the likelihood of a future soul contract may be diminished. But he doesn't. He's really focused on the fact that he doesn't want her to live with him constantly
on her mind. Yeah,
on her mind, because she can't move through her life.
Yeah. He wants you to continue your life and to stop centering him in your life.
He wants you to be free.
Yeah. He wants you to just live
do some soul searching and find out, what is your life about? So it's called, meditation. Like I said, you have to find the one that suits you. There are recordings on YouTube. It could be Gregorian chants. It could be all kinds of different things.
See that this
you feel like you're just in a holding pattern, which isn't serving you. It's not serving your highest good.
She says she wasn't sure because of all the deceit, and she can't understand why he came into her life and destroyed her emotions. Well, that's your lesson, okay, sweetie. That's your
back.
What is it? How did you allow this to happen? Okay, like how did you allow someone to hurt you so much? Were there red flags that you missed? Were there some signs that you missed, that he was deceitful, that you saw him with rose-colored glasses and so you missed them? Because when you're wearing rose-colored glasses, you don't see any red flags. They just show up normal. So, I'm so sorry.
Well, she's not meant to be like 3/4 of another person. She tried to be everything. And I think it's Tanita, you need to do some inner soul work, and you need to love yourself.
Yeah,
look for that love and affection from outside of yourself, and the best place to get it is from yourself.
Yeah.
If you can learn to love yourself, you attract a much better life, a much better person. If there's one in your future, just your whole life improves, because they want you to know you deserve to love yourself just the way you are, not the way somebody else wants you to be. They don't want you to do a tap dance for somebody else, trying to make them happy. That is not your job in life. Your job in life is to find out who you were meant to be. And I think that you were raised in an environment where you learn to please other people, because that's what was expected of you. That's how you got through your life.
Especially men. You were raised to please men and to center men in your life and to make sure that the men were looked after and who cared about you and your needs and whatever. Well, that didn't matter because as long as the men were happy, but nobody cared about whether Tainita was happy. It was just if the men were happy, then everything would be fine. So yeah. So
that mirror book too. The mirror book.
Oh yeah.
And if you have, I feel like somebody invaded your privacy. So when you write things down, if that happened to you, when you wrote things down and somebody invaded your privacy a lot, what you need to do is write it down. You don't need it anymore, especially if it's about something that happened in your past that wasn't very pleasant. Write it down, burn it. And as you burn it, say, I no longer need these memories or experiences in my life.
Yeah.
Because they are teaching me what I really need to know, and that is to love myself.
Yeah. Because see what happens when you center other people instead of yourself in your life is you never, ever, ever get to grow. You never get to love yourself. You never have enough because you're never feeding yourself with anything, right? You're only feeding other people. You're looking after other people. So grow and love yourself. Really, that's the most important thing, is to grow to love yourself. So, I mean, I'm really sorry that happened to you. It sounds like it was just a horrible, horrible experience to find out all this stuff after he died.
You see what? I hate to interrupt. I'm saying really kind of a rude comment by Awoken, who doesn't know anything about us, which is kind of funny.
Oh, I haven't seen anything.
Oh, wow. These two crazy old bitches are yapping about feminism for 2 hours straight. Embarrassing. They probably cried themselves to sleep when Trump won wearing their women's rights shirts. I'm like, seriously? Do you not have anything better to do with your time?
I think I didn't see that at all. I think that must have been taken. You're not.
Did it because it says Shore Hide. So, but
somebody's already looked after it because I don't even see it on my phone. So
I only happened to see it because
it was crazy old women. I mean,
the French probably showed up for me, and I wasn't looking at my screen until I looked down just now.
If you think that looking after yourself is feminism, I mean, I'm really sorry for you. Sorry, but looking after yourself, yeah, looking after
every human being needs to look after themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
We came in as individuals, and even when we leave, we're going as individuals. Even if we have family and stuff around us, we're going out that door alone. So, that's what we're here for, is to learn about ourselves, to make our lives as good a life as possible, because it enriches everybody else around us too. It doesn't just enrich us, but that's not the point. The point is to enrich ourselves. That's what we're here to do, is learn.
Oh, I see. They were Awoken was hidden by Diane G. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I'm a crazy old lady, whatever. Yeah, empty vessels make the most noise. Okay, we have reached Viviani.
Yay!
Who's asking for a Viviani special.
Okay.
I can't remember whose turn it is.
I don't know. I just did this. I don't know, because the last one was a little intense.
Oh, and by the way, Awoken, I didn't cry myself to sleep because I'm Canadian.
That's what I mean about ignorance. It's unfortunate. Let's put it that way. But it's not going to affect me in any way.
Yeah, me neither.
So Viviani wants a special, huh? Message from that I need to know now. Okay. For some reason, I feel like you're being too hard on yourself. on a second. I'm like, oh.
Oh, she clarified a message that she needs to know about moving forward on her path.
Mm-hmm. Put a little, you know that song? Put a little love in your heart,
Need
and
to have
the
more
world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. So I don't know if that's her answer to that comment, that text, or let's see.
They're telling me that you need to have more fun, Viviani. I see you laughing, and they're very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see you laughing.
I do feel like you're a little hard on yourself, though. Like I should be further along. You know, I should have more gifts, or I should be here, or I should be there. They want you to just relax and let it flow.
Yeah.
Because when you relax and let it flow, it's easier for them to bring it in.
Yeah.
They want you to see yourself with more love. They would like to see you laugh. I'm seeing your heart. Let me hold on a second. They want to bring you more love, and they want to bring you more. There's this small part of you that doesn't feel like you deserve it. So there's still some inner work, is what they're telling me, to clear that, to get rid of that. Like, we don't need that. So let's work on it.
Yeah.
You deserve the happiness that you're trying to give others. You're just as worthy as they are.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing you in this big pink cloud. They want you to know, even though you don't see it, there's been progress. You are seeing tiny steps, and they're saying, look closer. And then I see you, wow, okay. Then I see you running, and then I see you dancing. So whatever this obstacle is that you still have, they want you to get rid of it so that you can, run and dance. And there's a level of freedom after you do the work that you've never experienced before. You're going to feel a lot different, a lot lighter. You're just going to see the world differently than you do right now. Whatever I just going to say, you too deserve what you're trying to help other people with.
Good.
Lift them, to show them love, to know they're loved, to clear away any debris that's holding them down. Then there's just something there that there's that little last piece that you need to heal, because that's what's holding you back. Because once you get rid of that, that's when I see you running, skipping, dancing, laughing, whatever it is. It maybe seems small, but it's the last piece of a big puzzle.
She says she is doing the mirror exercise. Good.
Okay.
That'll help.
For some reason, they want you to journal more. I don't know how much you journal, but it's weird. I see writing, and then I see the next vision I get is a dove flying away. I feel like there's just that last core of sadness way down deep inside of me. I feel like you're going to get out. They're saying, get out the shovel. We'll take a bit of digging.
Yeah.
But never forget you're worth it. Not for a moment.
That's awesome. So, Viviani, love yourself. That's a good message for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do the work. Love yourselves. I'm fading fast, and I have to go to the bathroom really badly. So, I'm going to read the closing prayer. I want to thank you all for your generosity, both for your time and super stickers. Oh wait, next week.
Thank you, everyone. I mean, it's wonderful to have people here that, it helps us improve, and it helps you, which is the main point, is to help other people that are struggling with an issue, and maybe they just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Next week, I'll have Diana Bowles on. And that's the 9th, next Thursday, the 9th. But you'll see that because I'll set it up and put the announcement out. And Ginger Faye on the 16th. That should be interesting. Jonathan Daly on the 23rd. And on the 30th, we're going to do part 2 of the Gerald and Diana and I are going to do part 2 of the self-love, self-worth, and self-acceptance thing that we started. And it looks like it's going to be a regular sort of occurrence on this channel. So there you are. That's what's happening in January. And Pixie will be back in March, but we don't know what day yet because we haven't set that up because February is already all booked up.
You can actually see me.
We will have the technical issues resolved by then.
Really? I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Thank you so much, Viviani. Thank you.
Thank you,
all of you. I love you all so much. I can't even tell you. Okay, we're going to close. So 3 deep breaths, please. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And the last one. I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the records of this group. The records are now closed. Thank you all for being here. Thank all of you who are watching the replay. You're all wonderful souls.
Oh.
Bye-bye, lovelies. See you next week.
Have a great week, everybody.